Okay, so my project is on art piece number 170, the Kofa, also known as the Golden Stool, and I'll be referring to it as the Golden Stool instead of the Kofa because it's just a handful to say the actual name of the piece. So the Golden Stool is located in what is now day modern Ghana, which is shown by the green arrow on my map. And so the Asante Kingdom, which is where the golden stool originated from, was established in the 1600s by the king named Osi Tutu. So now we're going to talk more about the Asante people and like their culture because it's important to know about that stuff. So their major ethnic group of the Akans, which is like a group of, it's like a clan thing in Ghana. I really don't know much about that. And they are world famous goldsmiths. Their religion is a mixture of spiritual and supernatural powers, which means they believe that the plants, the trees, and animals, all of them have souls. And they speak the dialect of Twi. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm so sorry. And the golden stool is the most important to the Santi people. And so they wear kente cloth and wood carvings, which are both of these are a major product where they are from, and the kente cloth is like shown in here and in here what they're wearing. And then they use bark for weaving like blankets and baskets and all of that. So here are some pictures of the golden stool right here, and here you can see the golden stool up close, and they have golden bells and figurines around it. So the golden stool is located in south central Ghana, and the Santi people created it, and it was made around 1700 CE. And the materials made, which is it's gold over wood, and then cast gold attachments, which I was talking about earlier with the bell and the figurines. So more about the golden stool. The name means the golden stool that was born on Friday, and no one ever sits on the stool because it's the soul of the Santi nation, which contains all the souls of the people. And so something cool to note is that the Asante people, they have this brass weight that helps them weigh the gold to make sure they are getting the right amount, which helped created the golden stool so they have the right amount of gold. And these brass weights, they had unique carvings on it, which meant a message to the Asante culture. So an example of that would be two crocodiles crossed to make an X, and this represents that your family took care of you, fed you. So if you were to go left the X for family, you might not make it. So next is that the Santi people believe that the stool came from heaven and that priests commanded the stool to come down from heaven and land into the lap of the king. Another really important thing to know about the stool is that in the 19th century, the British were really interested in to control the gold in most of West Africa. Um, the British called this part of Africa the Gold Coast. And in 1874, the British took over the Asante capital and took most of their gold, which most of it is in the British museums now. And the British really, really wanted the golden stool, but the Asante people had the golden stool from the British during war because the golden stool was just so important to the Asante people and their culture and everything that they had to hit it. And so then the British exiled the Asante people's king, which is Prehemp the First. I think that's how you pronounce it. And the British tried really, really hard to find this golden stool because they wanted to bring it back to the Queen of England as like a gift. But they were unsuccessful finding the golden stool. So, after that, basically in conclusion, there was a compromise that didn't come till like 20 years later after the exile. And that compromise was that the golden stool would not be taken and it was not allowed. Wait, it was allowed to come out of hiding. So the golden stool was carved from a solid piece of hard wood and is now covered in gold. And around the golden stool, which I talked about earlier, was that there are several golden human figurines and bells, which reminds the Santi people of the origin of the stool. And there were geometric patterns also carved into the stool, and the golden human figurines represented defeated enemies. The size of the golden stool the height was 46 centimeters. The platform which is the width, is 61 centimeters, and the diameter is 30 centimeters. So the function, the golden stool, it became the symbol of unity for the Santi people, and the stool is still currently used today for political and religious reasons. And what I found as a theme was power and value, because it just meant so much, and value because it was the center of everything for the Santi people. And so I found three comparison pieces. The first one is a camele's sacrum in the shape of a canine, and I found them similar because they are both sacred, and like all two of them were carved, and yeah. So the second one is the dot, which is a portrait figure of King Mishi. I don't know how to pronounce the rest of that. And I found this similar because the person, it looks like he's sitting on like a stool, and then they come from basically the same culture, and as well, it's a sacred like figure. And then the Kaaba is related because the Kaaba has the same type of materials used, like the gold, and all three of them are basically sacred, which um ties in with the golden stool and how they are connected. That's just my opinion. And then I have my multiple choice questions, which is, what do the golden figurines around the golden stool represent? And number two is, which of the following items had a unique message on it from the Santi culture? And that should be it for this. Thank you for listening. I hope my voice isn't annoying. Have a good night or good afternoon or good morning to whatever time you're watching this.